All right. What's up, tycoons? What's up, traders? Coming at y'all with a viewer request for OCI. We're looking at OCI.NV. All right. This is like an agricultural company stock. And I do viewer request every single week. So all you have to do if you want to see your token, your cryptocurrency, your stock, even a bond analyzed and, given down with my technical analysis where I think it could potentially go, all you have to do is comment down below. Leave me a comment. I'll be happy to make a video on it as soon as I can. Now, we're getting this head and shoulders to play out on this particular stock. All right, we have our left shoulder, we have our head and our right shoulder. We just broke our neckline, and I was actually looking to see if we were potentially going to find support here, right? There were three main levels of support that we were looking at, our major retracement levels from our swing low up to our swing high. If we would have held this level, it would have been a very healthy retracement for a possible continuation to the upside. Rather, we broke through here, and in my opinion, a big reason for this is because interest rates are rising rapidly, especially in Europe. Okay. And I believe this is a stock in the Netherlands market or Amsterdam. I'm not too sure specifically, but I did a video previously called Higher Rates Longer. You should most likely check that video out. It's very, very good. Lots of great data in there. But what I wanted to show you guys is that, these interest rates rising so much is really going to hurt the markets. But that doesn't mean you can't find good entries, right? So if we look over here, I always highlight the three main retracement levels of 38.2, 50%, and 61.8. But you do get the fake out level sometimes of the 78.6. So if we look here and we actually turn our 78.6 level on right here, okay, you can see we're pretty much at that level and hit that level. Now, the reason I have it taken off is because I gave some bearish price targets to the downside, okay? So the major support levels, aka bearish price targets, are 3102. If you can see right now, we're holding that level exactly very well. That's where this most recent daily candlestick opened up at. And it's going to be interesting to see if we can find some support. Most likely, if we do find some support, we're going to come and retest this trend line here. So we'd look for a bounce, and most likely you get a retest rejection, and then we continue heading down lower. Right, or we could have a look below and fail, which would be pretty bullish, right? We take a look here how we got a nice bounce on our 78.6 retracement level, and then we're able to continue that move higher. This is right here, right around the 78.6, right at 3102. So if we are able to hold this level, we could get a look below, right, and fail and head back up into our major range that we're looking at. But if we do break below 3102, our next support level is 2840, and then 25.08 is going to be your major support level after there. Somewhere in between these two levels right here is going to be the completion of this head and shoulders pattern that we're tracking. Now, there is a gap up here to about 41.54. So if you're looking to accumulate some shares for the long term, there is potential that we could come back up here. Now, commodities and commodity related stocks saw massive spikes and really, some really, really big highs due to the whole Russia-Ukraine war crisis. So there is a possibility that we may not come back up to these highs. And then there's the possibility that, if that whole situation there escalates a lot more, then we could see commodities go back up on the rise again. So, do your own research, not financial advice, just really trying to give you guys a breakdown. What I really like to use is the MACD, okay? And the MACD has been very good, especially on this stock, predicting some of the movement, right? So over here, if you look, we got an entry signal, right? So it's when this red line curls above, and we got the MACD signal right around here, and it went on a very massive move to the upside. Over here, we got a MACD sell signal when the red line crosses below the white line, and we got a massive move to the downside. Over here as well, we got a MACD sell signal, and then we started coming down. Over here we got a MACD sell signal, and then we had a sharp move down, and over here we had a MACD sell signal, which really was the beginning of this massive move to the downside. Now there is some other things we had going on top of this head and shoulders. We had bearish divergence. So bearish divergence is going to be when you're making a high here and then a higher high here, right? So we're seeing that this stock is in an uptrend going up higher. The relative strength should be increasing with it, but if we look at our RSI, we see we have a high, have a lower high, we have a lower high.
So we had some bearish divergence right here. Now, what we do have currently is something known as a hidden bullish divergence. Um, and that's going to be when your stock is making higher lows, right? So we have a low here, we have a higher low here. But if we look at the relative strength index, we have a low and we have a lower low. So what this means is that the stock has actually gone up, but the relative strength of the stock has gone down. And it kind of just means like, it has more room to actually bounce here, right? It's a term known as hidden bullish divergence versus just a regular plain divergence. Now, it's not the best signal. A lot of times it leads to smaller bounces and not really a very, very strong movement, right? Like, the regular bearish divergence we had right here led to a very strong move to the downside. A hidden divergence usually leads to some type of a bounce and not really as much of a strong move. So if we do get some type of bounce, remember that we could just be bouncing up to retest this trend line and then continue to move down. If we are able to reclaim this trend line as support, then we have our major levels up here of 33.72, 35.76, and 37.80. Those are pretty much going to be your major resistance levels above these areas. And below 3102, we have the support levels of 2840 and 2508. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget about those viewer requests. All you have to do is comment down below. I'll be happy to make a video for you on your specific ticker as soon as I can.